And then choose one of the brushes. I'm going to go with the smaller one. And let me put this palette aside. You know about the color, so I put this aside and start drawing. So if my canvas is a square, 8 by 8 inches, because the model is a square. But if you have a bigger size, like rectangle or even oval shape, we need to manage how much space we would like to add on top or bottom, or even left and right for the rectangle shape of canvas. So I'm going to start choosing and placing all these flowers. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 flowers that so bunch of the flowers that connect together and the square shape of canvas. So it's so easy because this is a square. And if I divide it into different sections, I can see exactly on half the circle of this bluey flower. So I can choose from here the top part and the bottom part for this flower to mention about the simple shape of drawing. Maybe the light is a lot. So that's better. So I'm going to use a simple line, and please not to be worried about any mix, actually bad drawing or even mistake, because we can always fix the drawing and shape anytime in acrylic paint, because you can add more color on top and fix the shape. So this is a circle of this bluey flower. And then exactly from half toward the bottom part, it's an oval shape of the other one, the pinky one. So I start adding this one under the blue flower, and I'm not adding any tone on it because already I have a tone on this flower. And then the sunflower is exactly, all of these kind of flowers look like oval shape. It's not a circle, but the facing is toward left, toward up, toward down. This is oval shape and the facing is toward down. This is again another oval shape and facing toward left and a little bit up. So it's we can change the facing of our oval shape to see where should be placed. This is another one we're facing down, but this oval shape is facing left and a little bit top. So the center should be placed here. I just quickly draw the shape of oval here. Or even anytime you can fix the shape, I prefer to bring it a little bit down. And then when I add the background color, it can cover it. So I choose this one. Then we have these two flowers on the top part. One of them is this one. Just mention about the place. The other is the pink one, which is here. I just go with the simple shape, and for some of them I add a tone, for some no. Because if I add a tone for all of them, it makes us confused. And another pink one is this one. So I go with that and then give you time if you want to finish your drawing. So it's like one C curve on this part. And then separate each petal from each other. We can go like that. So this is about the shape of flowers, not the leaves and stem, just the flowers. Our flowers drawing, it's a little bit sometimes confusing because we just go with one color. We can separate a little bit. We can add the background, then add the leaves on top. But I prefer to mention about some of them, not all, because I don't want to make myself confused with one color. Just this one. I try to draw the shape of leaf. Start here. It's a little look like a rectangle shape, and with the nice stem connect to the top of a yellow flower that I have, this sunflower actually. So just continue like that. Even with a flat brush, you can go with one brush stroke, big brush stroke, to make the shape of leaves like that. And that's for the top part. I'm not going to add these details on top of the pink flower. And then move on the bottom part. There is a bunch of leaves here that one by one, I can go with this one first, then this one. I'm going to go with just a big brush stroke with flat brush, just like that. And you don't need to be worried about exactly the shape, because we will work on top later. For now, we would like to mention about the place. And this is another part. Simple shape of drawing. And this is another leaf here. I try to shape it with bigger stroke. And these are the stem, just one leaf placed here. And the small one here, and one connect exactly to the right side of the canvas. And now I place the stem between these two. This two is 1, 2 stem. The big one is 1, connect 2, and 1, 2. Even when you add the brush stroke, and some part it shows that the brush stroke is heavy. Heavy, I mean, if you see something like that happen, you don't have to make it fade. You can keep it like that, because brush stroke is always beautiful to be visible. I mean, the blue should be really tiny and the brown should be tiny. When you mix these two together, it gives us grayish, bluish, something like that, which is dark. Lots of white we need to add to reach lighter tone. But if you don't have blue and brown, that's fine. You can go with the black color, but a tiny bit black, mix with the white and reach the really light gray color. I added lots of white to have this light gray color. Just apply on a background. Heavy paint like that. Add on background. Even if you're not happy with one part of the drawing, you can fix the shape right now, bring the background color inside and cover that drawing, which is not your preference. You're not happy with, for example. And it's really light color, but it's not pure white. And I'm going to premix some light blue color here with the white. Take some white and mix with this light blue to reach lighter tone. White can make all the colors light and black can make the colors dark. But I'm not using black in flowers for making dark. So this is good for the light part. And then I'm going to mix this blue a little bit, because this is dark one, with this blue to reach another tone so close to that, because cobalt is different from the cerulean. I want to mix with this to bring some darkness on this blue, a tiny bit white to get rid of this difference between the transition of light and dark. So just a bit close, but not really light. That's good option. It's so close to this blue. So clean the palette knife. I'm going to use flat brush, and I'm going to use this cubey shape of tip of my brush. Start with darker tone. And then this is the place of the blue flower. I'm going just randomly add some stroke on top with this blue color. This is darker tone, and it's good to use it randomly. Most of the part, it's better to be on the bottom of this flower, but we can use it on top as well. And even the reason I'm going to drawing with the yellow ochre is because if it's visible under this blue color or even under the yellow and the red color, that's fine. That's really fine because it's so matched with the other kind of paint. Just adding more stroke. A little bit here we need to have. One here I have, one here and one there. And you see, I just randomly add this paint. And then move on with the lighter tone. Try to see the brush stroke. Look like the shape of flower. I'm going to add heavy paint, and you can see how much stroke I have. Take heavy paint and then try to use one-time brush stroke, because when you go on back, you can repeat. It's okay to repeat, but you can fade all these brush stroke, and we would like to keep it like that, not fading. Even we can use a little curvy shape. And it's better to leave this darkness in between. I'm not coming a lot on the bottom part because I would like to keep this darkness to show that this is the shadow of the flower, and that part on top it's light. And take more to apply some on top, and then leave it get completely dry. I'm start with dark color. Take heavy paint, and I'm going to start with this one on the left side. So I said that these are separate brush stroke it made. Take heavy paint, and we can use heavy brush stroke separately to shape these petals. As I mentioned, doesn't matter to cover all the yellowy part, that's fine. Even with the background color, we can come in between. Just long brush stroke to show the petals. And then this part is greeny off stem. Then move on with this one. Not everywhere, a little bit on the side of the flower it's visible, which is in light. And it's not happen for all. Even we can leave it like that. Clean it. Just would like to shape it as a curve, like this. And even right away, if you would like to disappear the yellowy of background, always better to wait everything get dry, then do that. But it's fine, sorry. With this and this blue, I make a little bit background color. Take some, I'm going to use exactly the tip of brush to cover in between the petals. Just one stroke, because if I go on back, I can make the brush reddish and the background back to the red color. So just one brush stroke, it's okay. You see that I've repeat it and then make the background dirty. So I have to bring back heavy paint to cover it. That's fine because the painting is like that. You don't need to just go with one time. 100 times you can go and back and cover the painting and even make your painting more powerful. That always work. Okay, like this one, I keep it like that. Even I wait a little bit, get dry the red one. I would like to bring in more background color and one of these petals in between. I don't want to make it like that. So again, move on with darker red or rose. Petals, I make it heavy and heavy. And when I add more paint on top, I try to use very less pressure on my hand because when you add more pressure in your hand, you can lift up the paint. But when you very gently, like baby, touching the baby face like that, you can let your paint come on top and sit on your wet surface. So we need to have a circly as a dark color. And I prefer not to make the inside of the flower very dark. I can use the brown, not the black, just a bit. This dark brown. But still I prefer to mix this brown with red. I take some, bring it here. I take some red, mix it together to reach some dark tone, but it's so close to burgundy color. It's not really browny. Clean the brush very well. Take heavy paint, add on center. Like that. Clean the brush with napkin, take some red, even one stroke inside. It's nice to have. I see around it, it's a little orangey, but I cannot add it right now. I can wait, everything get dry, then I can add a little orangey tone on top of my flower center. A little bit more here to add, and that's fine. So I wait this part get dry, or no, I can do it right now. With yellow ochre, come inside in between. One stroke, very gently, try to just one time to touch the surface, clean the brush. Now I cover this white and get rid of it. And the next part is the yellow flowers on top. And then adding the leaves. But for sunflower, you see that the center is really dark and the big one. So I prefer to work on that, let it completely dry, and then add the yellow around. That would be more helpful. Bring again the brown. This time, because the center of sunflower is really dark, so I mix the brown with the blue to make the brown a little bit darker. Clean the brush, the palette knife. And then take this dark brown, hold the center of sunflower. This is a big part. And even I can come a little inside this part. And then I can wait, everything get completely dry. Some touch of this darkness here too. And you know what? Because it happened, the light color, like a white, take more time to get dry, but the darker tone get faster, get dry. The leaves is more warm color than the pure green. So this is a pure and a bright green. If you see, it's a little, not the bright one, it's a little cool. I want to make it warm, so bring it here just a bit. And take the brown. I already have this brown here. I take brown, try to add, mix inside the green. That brown help my green get a little bit shadow and darkness, even more, and be warm. So it's already dark and warm. That's good for the shadow part. Take again some green, bring it here. With yellow ochre this time. I'm going to add yellow ochre to make it light and warm. Then I can go with this two color on my canvas. Let me clean the palette knife. Put this aside. Choose one flat brush. And as always, I prefer to start with the dark color and then move on with lighter tone on top. So take this one, start with the top part. Just one stroke, try to shape it as a like a rectangle shape of leaf, and then with the tip of brush is this one, use the tip as a stem to draw the line. We can hold the hair of brush to lay it down and make all this painting, or even we can draw the line with the tip, this part of the brush, like that. If you take your brush like this, easily you can draw the line straight like that, draw the line. But when you take like that, you can go with this stroke. So both are okay. It depends which part you want to work. I lay down the brush for this section here, and then here. And I need a little bit lighter green. I'm not clean the brush because both are green. One stroke, bring it here. One stroke here. And even one stroke here. And then leave it get dry completely. Even I really feel happy to take yellow ochre, very pure. One stroke, bring it here and here. Yellow ochre, it's so good for the green because it's dark yellow and it has green inside. I just a little fade it like that. Then move on and check which part we need. I prefer to continue as a stem, like between this blue color, to show that this is the stem. Even continue here a little bit thicker I can be, that's fine, to show this is the stem. And the leaf, I can see one here, just with the green here and even here. One stroke, bring it between the blue and the red. Now we can come on the bottom of our painting that's covered with the lots of green. Take heavy paint, make your stroke look like shape of leaf. Like this. Then move on with the lighter tone in between. One side is okay to have shadow. For one side, it's okay to bring the light. Like that. Even if you are feeling happy with yellow ochre, bring just like that. And then you can shape the leaves more accurate, look like the model. Form it like this. Add a little tip for that. Bring it toward left and move it like that. Then you can use the tip of brush for these details to shape it exactly. And even the other one, which is here, I'm going to add, try to shape it, look like the model, connected to the flower. Come down and make it a little pointy here. Then take the lighter tone, bring it one stroke on top, and leave it this step here. Then with the darker tone, bring again another leaf, which is this one. I'm going to add the light tone on top as well with one stroke. Back to the dark tone. One by one, I try to add the dark and light on top of each leaves. Bring it here just a bit white to get rid of the transparency. A little more. And make it brighter. Then put this aside. Take more for the shadow. And now we need the red to make it warm and orangey tone for the darkness. That's the good color for the shadow part. So I'm going to add with the flat brush. So clean the brush very well because this is the light tone. Same as before, I'm going to start with darker color, which is this orangey tone, and add some stroke. Very gently, please pass from the green one. It's better to let it dry, then add this orange tone on top. Some stroke, heavy. Bring it here. Even on this yellowy ochre, I'm going to add some orangey tone. Then I'm going to add a yellowy color, pure yellowy color. This one is fine. More here. More here. And even I'm going to add some orangey tone on this part. So again, need to premix more. Sometimes I forgot to use heavy paint, so I need to premix a lot of paint because heavy paint, we need more premix. Again, take heavy paint. So it's dry. I can fix the shape of petals a little bit more like this. Not a square. Little bit shape it like that. It's interesting more. With the tip of brush, we can do everything easily. And then like this. Yeah, it's more interesting. Even we can go back to the red color and make it more nice. Very gently touch with the lighter tone, bring it here more like a curvy shape. It's nice to have it. And this is so pointy. I'm going to make it a little curvy, very gently. So that's fine. Now I'm happy with it. I think we done for every part. So I hope you enjoy it.